once people get to know me and and enjoy being around me, you know, then often the time, they want to come back. I am also very, very lucky that um, I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say, but this is the truth. I'm glad that I'm someone that can be trusted. I'm glad that husbands can trust their wives around me because they know that I'm not going to do anything disrespectful for them or disrespectful to myself. You know, I'm happy that wives can trust their husbands around me because I'm not going to go on a prowl, looking for yang yang, or anything like that. Which is important. Which is important because it's you know I'm very I feel very fortunate to be able to have that trust for not only for men, for women, but from husband and wife. Okay. Now I'm gonna stop here and that's the end of that story. So I wanted to tell you about that. I'm gonna throw a couple of comments in here. So because I have to glance at them because I wasn't sure if I'm gonna do comments or not, or if I'm gonna continue the story. So um, I'm gonna go with the one that we talked about was um, a love story you don't want to hear the end of. And this first comment is from Rag Jamrock, and Rag Jamrock writes, because if you watch the video, I talked about photography. I talked about black and white photography, and you know. So anyway, so he writes, my father was an avid photographer and was a member of the photography club in college. He took hundreds of black and white photos of his kids and family members and developed them himself. I can understand your passion because I saw it in him also. If I meet a woman, Rag Jam, right? You are too much. He writes, if I meet a woman named Tata, I would play her the Johnny Guitar Watson classic. I want your Tata, I want to Tata you, baby. And some of you who don't know Johnny Guitar Watson, Johnny Guitar Watson was a guitarist with Johnny Guitar, and back in the early '70s, during the '70s, I'm a real mother for you, and he wrote a good song, but he wrote this song that I want to Tata you. So that was a good one, Jamrock, very good one. And this other one is from Michael Meyer. Michael Meyer, day 6. Michael Meyer. I wanted that to take off from Mike Meyer. Michael Myers. What's the name of the horror franchise? Halloween or something like that. So anyway, he writes, "Did you get those dogs as puppies and from a shelter out there?" No. Helen I bought from my first Filipino girlfriend's, cousin, who was breeding huskies, which later I found out she lied to me. It wasn't her cousin and her auntie. She used to work as a housekeeper there. So you see, whenever relatives or people are introduced to you as relatives in the Filipino family or culture or whatever, it's, I'm not saying question it, but that, you might later find out that that wasn't the case, that it was anyway, he was breeding huskies, and I was thinking about breeding dogs, the type of breeds and everything. And I was very struck by the fact that they had huskies in the Philippines. This is something that I would have thought that they had, but they had huskies. And so I decided to buy a puppy. He wanted 47,000 pesos. Um, 47,000 pesos. Let me see. Um, 50,000. No, okay. 50,000 is a thousand. So it's almost a thousand US dollars for the puppy. There was a little puppies. I don't know how old they were. I can't remember. But I had them all on the floor, and I sat down in a chair, and I said, whichever one crawls over to me is the one I would keep. And you know, Helen, Helen crawled over to me, so I said, okay, this one chose me, so I guess I got to take it. And so that's how I ended up with Helen. And then the added bonus was that Helen ended up having blue eyes. And Okimi, now when Helen was growing up, Helen loved to play, run around, jump around like this, and like this, and so as she was getting older, I could see her kind of slowing down and kind of being a little sluggish. So I decided to get Helen a playmate, a partner. So a friend of mine who I playing tennis with, he had a friend that had a Labrador, and he brought the puppy. I said, oh, this is perfect because I know, Labradors is going to be a good size to play with Helen. And Helen used to always pull on Okimi's ears. Because Okimi's ears were hanging down, and that was Helen's go-to point, to torture her. And you ever like this, but now Okimi grew up with like this, and so Helen, so those two became play partners. As they got older, I saw that Okimi needed a play partner, and so at that time, that's where I got Ichiban from, Ichiban the German, because my foreigner friend who was breeding Germans now had white German Shepherd puppies, and so I bought one from him that he ultimately, gave to me, canceling out the balance of the payment. So that's how I got Ichiban. So Ichiban, I bought. She was a puppy, and Luna, Luna, the little ugly little dog with the spots, the brown or whatever. She was the mother of. I mean, she was a puppy of another dog I had in Avalon. When I bought the truck, they had a little kennel in there, a little portable cage in there, and had two dogs in there. And they said, "Oh, the dogs come with the truck." I said, "Oh, really?" So we had these two dogs that would run around there, but never would let you touch them. One of them got out and was hit by a car, and the other one I ultimately trapped and took him to San Jose and gave him to one of the guys there. And I had named the ugly dog because she was so ugly, And so she had puppies, and that's where the brown and white one came from. And the white one, the little small white one, Snow, she was at this outside bakery that I would sit every now and then, and I've done videos there. And she was running around just like a little rat. I didn't know what it was. And so I finally asked the girl, I said, whose dog is this? She says, nobody's, you can have her. I said, oh, really? So I know Mia always wanted to have, and the boy, Mia wanted to always have a lap dog. So, I picked it up and brought it home and gave it to Mia, and she was so happy. So that's how we got all the dogs. And now we got two husky puppies. You saw them. So that's how I got the dogs. Thanks for asking that question. And that was from Michael Myers. Michael Myers. And Babuelo, he says, good video. Thank you, Gerard. You're welcome. Okay. Now, when I did the Calvin series, on his basketball team coming together, I didn't get any comments except on one, and that was the one where I took suggestions on names of the team for the team, and Willie D came out with the baddest name at all. Willie D, thank you for naming the team because I'm going to make sure it's used. And he says, yo, G, instead of the Cavaliers, the Cavaliers is a basketball team. He said the team should be called the Calviniers. I cracked up. I said, good one, Willie D. Good one. I cracked up. So thank you for naming our team. And as your prize, you get a round trip to the Philippines. Now, I wish I could do that, but if the team goes for it, you're going to see your suggestive name on the back of their jerseys because I'm going to make sure that it's there. And then the final one is from Bob Willow. He says, three good videos. I wish them luck in their endeavor. Okay, so thank you very much for watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly, always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, former lead singer of the Temptation One song, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, no doubt, make him feel like a king. And I'll always love you more. And love the one you're with. And if you have people in your past who you still love, who you still think about, just call them up and say, hey, don't answer this. I just want to let you know that I'm thinking about you. Because sometimes that's all people want to know is that you still think about them, especially those who made a difference in your life. And I want to do a personal note for those who are still caught in the grips of moving too fast. You know I used to move too fast. And I used to be away from home for days and days, weeks, months at a time. And my number two just had a birthday. She's out there, and you're going to do what you do, but you got people who care and love you. So it wouldn't take much to just call them and just say, hey, mom, hey, dad, yo, bro, yo, sis, I'm okay. I'm okay. And hang up if there's nothing else that you have to say because you're too ashamed or you're too hurt or you feel you're too beaten down. They just want to know that you're still alive. I'll talk to you later.